Afternoon. It is now, let's see here, 5:02, and I'll call the Master Plan Committee meeting of Wednesday, December 17th, 2025 to order. First order of business is in attendance, a roll call.
Bob and Eric.
Linda Brown. Margaret Bacon. Del Bobolinski. Rebecca LaValle.
Ross Smith.
Mike Swooker. Dan Mascroft.
Gordon Larrabee.
Rich Preston.
John Charbonneau, Town Planner.
Anybody on Zoom?
Don't see anybody.
All right.
Are there any excused or?
We do, couple things. Rob Leonardi has resigned.
Yes.
Conflict with business. Bob Moran will not be joining us this evening. He's excused. I think we have, beyond that, we have a full house.
It's just Meg.
Okay.
No, Dan
Meg was going to join us.
Mascroft.
Via Zoom.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
He's hiding in the corner.
Snuck in.
7'12".
I think Meg may be joining us, Linda. We'll wait and see. All right, so minutes, if you could take a look at the November 19 minutes, I would appreciate it.
On line 3, Bob, there's your last name wrong.
Oh, no.
Linda.
M.A. Narek. Oh,
Line
number
th-
3.
Number 3, yeah.
Narek.
Bob, did you even notice your name was spelled wrong?
Eagle Eyes Mike Swerve. Still don't see any mention of a tunnel.
What about a pizza party?
Still.
No business.
Yes.
She did hand it out.
We're a pizza party.
More pizza in the tunnel, right?
Two things. You just want two things.
Everyone have an opportunity to read through them? Even Dan, are you done?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'll approve.
You looked engrossed. I never get that engrossed reading.
Really?
You just
I'm looking for every little typo.
you pretend you're reading. Do I hear a motion to amend as, to approve as amended?
Motion to approve the minutes, amended minutes for November 19, 2025.
I'll second.
Second that.
Okay, so we have a motion made by Bob, seconded by Dan. Any further discussion?
Oh, made by Mike.
Made by Michael, sorry. It's going to be a long night.
That's okay. It's
One
early.
of those.
What if,
I was going to hit it out of
the
the
committee
park.
voted it down and left his name
I can't
still?
even bug. It's not even fun.
No, we're not approving the amendment. His name is-
The motion was made by Michael, seconded by Dan. Thank you.
Either or.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, all those abstaining. The ayes have it. Thank you. Okay.
It's going to be one of those nights.
The quarterly reporting and monthly reimbursement request. Bob's been handling that. Any thoughts?
The December, what are we, December, the November one was done, and the next one will be December, and Emily, I'll be sending an email to Janet and the whole crew. Matt Wojcik is leaving on vacation the 8th of January, which means I have to have everything signed by the 7th. And there is a hard deadline on the 15th for the quarterly report. The monthly reports, there is no deadline. But I have to do the monthly report for December to finish the quarterly report. So if you could tell your crew,
As soon as possible,
Yeah.
yeah.
they were good this month, we got it in on the 4th.
All right, perfect.
So, thank you, Bob. Next, B, master plan final quarter budget discussion. So Bob had brought a few things to my attention, and we just want to make sure that we're on track in terms of available funds versus expense. We are a year and a half into it. We have 6 months left. In terms of funding, we have a contract with CMRPC for $145,000. We have an EOHLC grant, Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities, for $115,000, and the town has funded us with $30,000. So we have enough for that. So we should be good, Bob.
Well, the $30,000 took care of the first June 24th to November 24th.
So what's the total
November
expenditure?
24.
I have 92. Do you have total expenditure?
Yeah, it's right. Out of the $115,000 grant.
Right.
We're 82 into it right now. There's only 32 left.
Okay, 32, but we haven't been debiting the 30,000, right?
No, I don't care about that because that was for the first June to November in 2024.
Yeah, but I care deeply about the 30,000 because we need that.
Well, it's already expended.
Yeah.
It's spent. That was a town meeting vote. That's done. That's gone.
But it's not here in the
I'm only
expenditures.
tracking the reimbursements for the
Okay. But shouldn't we, on the totals here, on the spreadsheet, shouldn't we have, show the 30,000
Well, you'd add
expenditure?
30,000 to every number on there.
All right. I'll need to look into this.
I think in the beginning, before we actually were
Got the
approved
grant.
for a grant, we needed to spend that 30.
I don't know if we did though, but I'll look into it. I don't know if there was
I
anything.
know we did too. Like, Benoit, Matt Benoit's already submitted that to Gene for payment a year ago.
I don't know, it was the first
I
thing
know
to
that
go.
for a fact.
That was the match for the grant.
Yes, that was the match, but we spent it first.
Yep.
To get this committee going, we spent that money in the grant we didn't have yet. He announced the grant, I think, in November, the last month of the 30,000. He announced the grant that we've received, it will be a year ago this month.
Because it was announced at the meeting that we had received the grant.
They received the grant, but we were already like 5 meetings
Right.
into this program, this process, and we were using the 30,000
Correct.
match to pay CMRPC.
Right.
Yeah. Well, then I'll have to touch base with the town accountant because we should have a spreadsheet showing the 30,000 too.
But we do have a contract.
I have the invoices for them.
Yeah, but we should have documentation that shows everything expended to date from beginning to end. That's what we're missing.
Add 30,000 to that, and we've got
Had I known. Had
So
I
that
known.
you're looking for a top line that says 30,000 and then minus 30,000.
I'll take a top, bottom, in between.
Or like on the spreadsheet, the first few meetings voted 30,000 from the town money spent on this,
Yeah.
then the rest was grant.
Yeah, because Bob didn't have access to that.
Whatever.
He took over from that.
No, that Matt Benoit was handling that. I had no idea
Yeah,
how he spent it.
yeah,
Jean might have some.
Oh, I know she's got something, because I've got that paperwork.
yeah.
Okay, so we're talking, you think we may have only about $23,000 left?
What am I
I thought you said 32.
32?
32, do I have? Oh,
That's not November.
Okay, so it is 23,000. I don't have the latest.
Okay.
Okay, so we have to get through 6 months.
7, including today. And we've been running 6,000 to 8,000 per month.
Ooh.
Yeah, ouch. You can see the math doesn't work. How does this associate with previous master plans that you've done? I know the heavy hitting right now is with the chapters.
Yeah, that's why
Once you
this
get
is
the
the most
chapters done,
expensive
the
kind
money
of chunk
will
of the
trail off.
process. Yeah, because before it was just me charging to the contract, Sam, and now we have a host of chapter writers, so that's why right now, the past
It's
few months is
labor-intensive.
yeah. So I knew that'd be coming, that it would kind of suddenly go up to our charge expenses. But yeah, I'll keep us on track in terms of charges. I'm thinking I'm going to make a budget and just send out to all the chapter authors saying this is the amount of hours you have to do your project. You're part of the project. Let me know if you need more. We'll figure it out. Yeah.
So it's my understanding the entire cost under contract is contractual for $145,000.
Correct.
So then, that's what we owe, $145,000. And if we've spent all but 23, then it's really about how we're going to budget the rest of it. So we should not be short those funds.
Usually, master plans are expensive undertakings.
Yeah.
They are.
What if other towns, like you just finished 2 of them, like the 2 towns you just finished?
I think Warren just finished this week.
did
Lester
they
and
come in?
Spencer finished a few months ago.
Are they at 145,000?
No, I didn't work on those, so I would say in that ballpark, yes. That's usually what
mean,
this
there's
is around.
And ultimately, that's what we're committed to.
Oh, yeah. You can't
$45,000.
go over.
Yeah. But if it seems like we are going to go, like, we will work with the town to somehow get other funding as well.
And that's why I'm bringing this up right now.
Right.
To run out of money.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll talk to Dominique and Trish and just make sure we have a plan to get us through. And if it seems like that's not going to stretch us to where we need to be, just have a plan for moving forward, kind of either get more funds or, yeah, where that can kind of come from.
That,
Like Rich was saying, though,
when we
it's-
get it through a town meeting, which is in May, we'll be done.
You'd say it's a contract though, right, Rich?
Yeah, I think it's a contractual obligation both ways.
Yeah.
That we're going to have this finished product for $145,000.
Yeah.
Can we get a copy of the contract?
I'll have to see if I can track it down.
I have a copy.
Okay.
I keep everything.
In that we
If you can't
Because I
find.
mean, when I was in Rentham and we were contracted with MAPC through DLTA funding to do a village center zoning, we went a little bit past. So what we did was we applied for an extension to that and were granted. I know this is not DLTA, it's the same thing, but they did work with us to give us an extension to finish the project. So, you know, usually the RPAs will work with you, like Emily is saying, to make sure you can get the project finished once it's close.
Yeah, I mean, but, you know, it's difficult. In a municipality, that's what we have to spend.
Right.
It's very difficult to get additional funding, obviously.
No, not from the town, I meant that.
No, I'm sorry.
You know, yeah, they gave us an extension on that grant program to get the project across the finish line.
Yeah, so however we do it, I just want to know that that's all we're committed to is $145,000.
Yeah. You won't have to.
Okay,
We'll make it work on our end.
thank you. Thanks.
We just got to finish the chapters. Because that is the labor-intensive portion right now.
Any committee thoughts on this? Comments, considerations?
Yeah, so just to get a higher perspective here, so with the result of the chapters all coming back and you presenting the final product, is that product, do we go through that again as a committee and then kind of go chapter by chapter, make recommendations that we're going to bring to the town later? Or is this final product, like the final product that goes to the town?
Final product.
Okay.
Yeah, so what we're giving you is kind of the narrative, the content that's all going to be in there. Once we kind of get your all approval and we send it to our kind of in-house editor, check for any spelling and consistency, then it'll go into kind of the final design product. So that's when it'll look very nice with all the pictures and nicely formatted charts and everything in this flowing document. So then we'll send that out to everyone, make sure that looks okay for you all. So
Got it.
This is why it's important to get our input now.
But
and that's why-
earlier the better. For
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking just the content of each chapter. I mean, we could spend a long time on each one. I feel like we're just kind of pushing through a lot of it without actually having a lot of conversation, dialogue, debate, back and forth
I
about.
would say we have had a lot of conversation and dialogue, but you're right, some of these things, depending on the chapter, you could just go on and on.
Right.
But we've gone through them once, now we're going through them twice, and there'll still be an opportunity, I believe, until, I think we said about February, March, we could still make edits to it.
A couple more times.
Yeah. So that's why it's important for us to use due diligence as a committee and individually to make sure we're on top of this. And it incorporates our input and all the information collected.
I mean, this can be,
Surveying
you can
the
sit here for the next 2 years, fine-tuning this document. Yeah, there's a certain point you have to say, this is what we have with the time we've been allotted.
That's a good question. Anything else? Any comments, considerations? Anybody have any extra money lying around? No? Donations? There goes our pizza money, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like peanut butter and jelly now.
Peanut butter's getting expensive.
All right.
Girl Scout cookies.
So much for the tunnel.
You just know something's in the air sometimes with these meetings. Okay, thank you. All right, the photo contest, so I hand it over to Emily and to Will.
Yeah, we haven't gotten any submissions so far, except for Carol sent hers in.
Oh. The wrong way. I gotta get that thing so that my grandson will teach me how to do it with that other square thing. That's beyond my capacity.
I love those photos. I'm excited to share them.
I'm the only one that sent you photos?
Yes, so far. We've still got time.
You win.
First, second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, every category.
I know.
Do we have a status on about the prizes?
We do.
Not yet.
Oh.
I don't.
I do, unfortunately.
Oh, gosh.
So, where to begin? So I did reach out to Matt, the town administrator, and he did get back to me and said that, of course, as we knew, no, we couldn't use funds, thank goodness. Now, in light of everything, we can't use our funds to pay for these, but we can solicit donations from businesses. And it does have to be submitted to the selectmen. It has to be accepted by them. And then it has to be, you might say, accounted by the accountant. So that we have to they'll set up a special account for us. And we're good to go, basically. So I described it as we discussed, eight prizes, 7 at 50, 1 at 100, if I'm correct. So once you solicit these donations, then we have to submit them to the Board of Selectmen to be accepted. And from there, we just have to make sure we do whatever the town accountant needs to meet state law.
Should the company just send a check to the selectmen for the donation?
That's a good question.
Wouldn't be any different than CRG checks, right?
Yeah, I don't know how that would,
Be a cover letter from this committee with the checks to the selectmen, and then you would just blanket accept it.
so we're just going to basically do cash? We're not going to do the gift card thingy like
I think we're talking about gift cards
Okay.
or certificates.
All right, so it'd probably just be approved and held, I would imagine, if it's,
Yeah, they'll go
an
right
actual
into it.
card or, a certificate from a business.
Or it could be cash, right?
If it's cash, like Rich was saying, we would need to have an account set up.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be looking for cash.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to imply it was cash, but we're looking at like gift certificates, certainly.
But I was going to make one, but I'm not giving anybody a month's rent, so
Cash?
I'd rather just give you cash.
But I mean, you could do like a Visa gift card type situation.
Yeah, but you're looking for this business to have that business come back
Yeah.
to them. If you give them a Visa card, they'll spend it at the gas station.
Right, but I mean, some of the businesses might not be able to, like, let's say we got a donation from GBI.
They're not going to give you a house.
Right, so a GBI might want to give a gift card.
Right, if it's a restaurant, it should be.
Yeah, I think if it's a business that can
depending on
have
the business.
the business
Right.
go back to them, then we'd like it to be something that can go back. But if it's like, I'm just using GBI because they've always done well by the library, like just a Visa gift card or an Amazon gift card, something like that could work.
And the gift card would be made out to the town of Douglas.
No, gift card would be held by the selectmen, then handed out.
But you've got to have it.
It wouldn't be made out to anybody.
No name on a gift card.
But if you're divvying this up, so much for first place, so much for second, or you're just going to hand out a gift card for whatever the amount is.
No different than a Dunkin' Donuts gift card. It's a blank card. You just let the person know what's on it. Is it $25 or is it $100?
All right, so if some business,
That's all it is.
so some business donates, let's just say $250, so that's on a gift card. So who does that go to, the first place winner?
Well, would be the amount set.
Because we have 7 50s and one 100, right?
Yes.
So if they wanted to give $250, they'd have to be given 5 $50 gift cards.
We'd have
So
to.
it can be divvied up into.
Well, the devil's in the details, and we should decide
Right.
what we want. Do we want to go with the original $50 gift certificates times
Right.
7 and $100 gift certificate?
I mean, for simplicity, I think that would be the
Just keep it
easiest thing to do.
simple. Yep.
Because then I could just go in the safe and then be just handed back out.
And I think if we can support local retailers like restaurants or Dunkin' Donuts or what have you, to try to put them first, so that we can patronize their business, if you will, and go from there. I think the devil's always in the details, so Matt was very helpful. Generally, town council approved it if we go through this process, and we're just going to make sure we stay in line, stay in our lane in terms of accounting, town accounts.
So when we request gift cards, it's either going to be $50 denominations or 100.
We're looking at this is what we decided, we can change it tonight, of
Yeah.
course, but we're talking about $7 $50 cards or gift certificates and one at 100.
Or we could just ask for $850 and then somebody could get two $50 gift
Yeah,
cards.
that's the way it goes.
And then if they wanted, they could get a 50 for here and a 50 for,
Well, when you're asking the business, would you like to donate, we recommend a $50 gift certificate, correct? Okay.
yeah, just,
I think the premise was the $100 one was they would be on the cover, possibly, so that was
Right.
first prize, and that's why that was $100.
Yeah.
Right.
But if we just do 250.
that way you're not trying to be like,
Yeah.
and especially if somebody's like, oh, the hundreds for that place, I don't go there, but I like that place.
But you could hand them two $50 ones and there's your 100. Keep everything at 50.
So that'd be
That way there it's
that'd be a
simple.
total of 9 then.
No,
9.
no, nine. Math is hard. It's after 5 o'clock, my math.
I'm telling you, it's one of those nights.
Well, that simplifies it.
I think, yeah, okay.
Yeah, let's leave all
You
of
say
it.
so.
950.
Yeah. And that way there, somebody who, the winner, they might say, I'll take a 50 Dunkin' Donuts and a 50 for pizza, or 2, or they can do whatever, you know?
Well, they're getting gas and their coffee at the same time.
Either or, yeah.
Although Matt did give us I'll read you what he sent me the first time. He said, Rich, I have sent your question to town council. I cannot see an issue with photo contests since there is no element of chance involved and people don't have to pay to participate in the contest. let's see here, for employees, there may be an ethics issue if they want to participate, and contestant entries are not anonymous, hidden from those judging the photos. Even if it is not an ethics issue, in the legal sense, it still creates an appearance of conflict. So the question is, in terms of who's an employee, does that include committees, boards, commission?
Probably.
Yes.
Yes.
Town employees.
In terms of conflict of interest. So we may want to stay away from that.
You can't make the submissions anonymous?
Well, let me ask you, town employee though must be paid.
No.
Yes or no?
Board members are special municipal employees.
A special, yeah.
So you're still governed under the...
Same act,
But you can, always fill out one of those ethics forms.
forms.
Send it to the-
You can receive up to $50 a year. It gets very complicated.
I know.
I want to stay away from
No,
that.
I'm just throwing that, just asking.
Yeah. I think what we talked about was the possibility of people submitting photos but not accepting an award.
Yeah,
And that's what, if any of us did it, that was all
Correct.
like,
I wasn't looking for an award, I just
Well, I don't think we could accept an award anyway, because we're the voters. We vote on the pictures. So that would be really bad.
but now it's basically anybody who is working with the town in any capacity.
Yes,
Looks that way.
even volunteers.
we could not put who submitted the pictures, that probably we do, right? For the people who vote for it.
But if,
It'd have to be us.
but if they get paid, like, the problem is the winner's getting
Well,
the certificates.
if you're in the town boards, you can't get, you can win the position, you can't win the money.
Yeah. Emily, I think you're going to need to quickly amend the rules and regulations to are eligible to receive
Prize money.
Who's reviewing the photos? Us or?
We are.
We are.
We are now, wasn't there a,
So we need to know names.
but wasn't there also going to be a choice?
Why do we need?
No, we never discussed anonymous.
Let's say there's 10 photos and you're one of them. We can exclude you from the winners list right off.
It's true. But I want my picture in the book.
After the selection is made of the winner, one person would know the name of that person who took that photo, not the rest of the group. And that person would say, yes, you can do it, but she can't get a ticket because that's her photo. Emily could hold the key to...
Right, because we could judge the photo.
Right.
And not have any names
Nameless
attached.
photo.
But
and-
I think our name should, I think our photos should automatically be pulled from, I don't know, because, I mean, Carol would still be voting on her photo.
Right.
But that, but you are very opinionated, so all of a sudden, if you went very quiet, we'd be like, that one's hers. She went quiet.
That's the reputation I have.
I have no problem with Carol voting for a photo.
Either.
And I agree with the photos should be anonymous, and maybe like yourself, you know the names. And if it's a member of a board or committee, then you just certainly say, hey, your photo's been chosen, but you can't receive anything. Then those funds divvy it up with the people that can receive the funds. Because otherwise, you don't want to be leaving a gift card sitting in the town office for 20 years or whatever for the next one of these. So you just divvy up whatever's left on who can accept the funds and awards.
Pull name out of the hat.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking the same.
That's all you got to do.
All the winners.
If there's 6 people that can get the funds, you start with the top photos that are chosen, and instead of it being a 50, they all maybe get 100. You know? But that way there, it's anonymous, and all the cards are used up.
So if there's extras, do like a hat draw.
Identified with the number,
Type
and the
of thing.
gatekeeper will be.
Well, yeah, so your top few, you pick, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and say 2 of them, they can't accept an award, you double up on the others.
But
That's all you
as
do.
photos come in, Emily should be assigning a number to it,
Just a number, yeah.
the number, so we can
We don't know who's who.
to,
That's it. Yep, exactly. Yep,
and then we announce the top
yep.
8, right, top 8.
There you go.
She'll let us know if there's a conflict of interest. And then
Or she can just communicate to that one person. We don't even need to know. We don't even need to know that. She can communicate it and just take care of it.
Ross can submit a picture of a tunnel.
With a big piece of pizza at the end.
That's right.
You know, I kind of
Well,
Douglas's
teenagers
dream.
Know until after the contest.
There is a light at the end.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Then the people, under the picture
You know,
of
that's
the
something I
caption
never got
submitted
into.
by
Seriously.
Carol.
But I mean,
Yeah.
tunnel,
And pizza, right, I can
That's
see
fine.
that.
Just
But
like Garden Club
I
did
never
that
did
with a
get into it.
calendar.
Correct.
They were all anonymous.
Yeah.
And we got to pick January, February. Yeah, out of like 100 photos.
Keeps it simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we leave some time for discussing the business survey, like 15 minutes at the end.
Okay.
we could just go to the transportation chapter and housing chapter,
Okay.
if that's okay. So we don't have this.
Yep. Are we done with the, for now? Okay.
Are we ever really
One
done?
people were saying, how are we going to get the photo contest information out there to the public? I'm sure everybody at the town hall knows about it, or maybe they don't, but hopefully they do. But the regular public, you know?
Did you put it into the papers?
Not yet, okay, so papers.
Because that's important.
For the survey.
We
Sooner
put
the
them out
better.
at town meeting, but I don't know if anyone took them.
Yeah.
So, times you've missed because that was the 15th. But if you get the Express in this week, you should make it for the next publication. I believe, because they are off by a week right now, which is really annoying because it's not the second Friday, it's been the first the last couple of months.
And then the Tribune.
The Tribune's ongoing, so that one's not, the Express and the Times are dated, like you
They're
have,
once a month.
Yeah.
The Tribune is every week.
yeah,
Which is important to get something out now.
yeah. But I'm saying the Express is, you've got this week if you really want to get it, I believe.
Okay, who do I send that to?
I will pull it up and shoot it.
And then there's the Uxbridge Times. I think everybody gets that.
Yeah, but they're the 15th, so that wouldn't go out until February 1st. That would be the February 1st edition. Yeah, they were just on Monday that they were due. And we just missed them, and they are hard on their deadlines. 12 o'clock on the 15th, or you do not get in.
Dynamic Douglas.
Yeah, Facebook. Actually, we did pretty well with that regarding the survey.
Yeah, we can do that. I'll have we have a outreach social media coordinator who can make up a post and figure out how to get it listed on there.
Do we need to work out any bugs yet in terms of this contest? When we go out there? Before we go live? Have we nailed it? I just don't get the sense we have. Committee?
What?
What are your thoughts? Are we ready for prime time with this photo contest?
I think we're ready. We just don't know how to get it out there.
Okay, all right. Because in getting it out there, we're going to put the rules and what have you out. We want to be able to receive these things and process them without tripping on it.
A website where you can send them to. That little square thing is not that good. Some people like me don't know how to use it.
QR code?
Yeah. Yeah.
The website was on the bottom, too.
Oh, okay. Well, they'll put it out again.
Yeah, and on the social media post, they'll be able to just click on the link.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Like, I think we were having a chat at one point about having some kind of marquee downtown, in the church lawn or an overhead or something, just with town announcements of the week or something like that.
Yeah.
Emily,
In front of the library.
there's 2 contacts. I usually send them to both of them. I usually do both of them because I never know which one I'm going to have best luck with. So I'm always like, it doesn't hurt to do both at the same time.
Do you have an outside sign, Rebecca, at the library where you can advertise stuff?
I can ask Justin because we're getting into holidays kind of empty. We've got the one where we put like the hours and stuff. We might be able to.
Okay.
And we've got the board on the outs, like when you walk into the library that I believe I put one up there.
Okay.
I'll double check to make sure it's still hanging.
All right, we could put something there in the fire department. Should they let us put something up there? You said sometimes something as simple as that. Help.
Probably after the holiday, I think. They might have room, I don't know what they have up there now.
I mean, you've got, Joe might let us put something out up at Douglas House. I know when you walk into Greg's, they've got they'll let you put stuff up right when you walk in, like between the 2 glass doors, they'll let you put stuff there.
Okay. So could you get some additional flyers?
Or a little coffee bean, she's got a little corkboard when you walk in. I'll take some for the, down at my shop.
I'm trying to think where else.
Harry's.
Oh, I'll reach out to the.
Probably anything that's on Main Street, just to,
See if you could put it
you
out.
could put them on their counter, a couple on their counter, or just one that people see when they when they walk in.
Yeah.
Get a bunch.
The thing with Joe is you've got to clean out some of the
Would be
old
very
stuff.
interesting.
New stuff.
Maybe some selfies.
But I will tell you, like, sometimes when he's busy,
Okay, I
he
think
ends
we
up
can
with
start
good
for now.
stuff.
and then
Yeah,
check.
well, they get a lot of traffic in those little places, so.
I just sent them to you, so you should get the emails.
So, moving on, do we have anything else regarding the photo contest? All right, thank you. Okay, so if we can, what I'd like to do is if we could move up to transportation and circulation. We have Adam Furno. Adam, hello, come on down. Adam's the highway superintendent. He's going to join us.
Just gonna stay in the back here. I've got a good group here. Go ahead, Ross. That's
Pop
good.
on
You're
over.
good, you're good. Don't squeeze.
Yeah, we have plenty of room.
Thank you.
We've been seeing you. No pizza though, sorry.
I know. I was interested in the gift card. The gift cards are better than what we're gonna talk about right now. I'll tell you.
Be careful, this is the anything goes meeting.
It's all right, hey, whatever it is. Yeah, I mean, I did read through all that stuff that they sent, and if anyone has any questions, I think it's worded pretty well. Like I said, I did have one, is there one for I steal one? So if anyone has any questions for me, that's kind of why I'm here, just to answer anything anyone has.
They gotta go back. We got extras.
Did you have any thoughts or recommendations having them?
No, we went back and forth, I think, and corrected some of the information that I had that was old. It's been, back and forth. I mean, everyone knows what our road conditions are. We've struggled with that. We have for a long time. Sidewalk conditions are getting worse, and unfortunately, the cost keeps going up every year. It doesn't seem to go down, so we get less and less done, and this year, we're fortunate that the Chapter 90 was almost, not double, but a little under double from the state, which is great, but then they held it until 3 weeks ago. So I wasn't able to use it till now. Governor Maura Healey didn't decide to release it, so now basically I've got a project to finish in the spring and one to start in the spring, and then I'll work on next year's projects.
So those funds can be rolled over into next year?
Correct, they can roll over. Yes, the town funds that the town gives us through capital is not able to be rolled over. We expend them first. Gene asked us to expend them first, then we go into Chapter 90.
And I know when we had visited you, we had come to the highway department, and that was quite a tour. Wow.
Yeah.
How you get the stuff in there that you do.
It's even worse right now. I mean, we've got 2 new trucks that are supposed to be there, and I'm going to really have to squeeze and figure out, because the new trucks are bigger than the older trucks, so that they won't fit down the front garage, so we have to really, I got to take down some things, move some things out, and it's awful, because you don't want to leave equipment outside. We spend a lot of money, my backhoe right now, I sent it off to Matt Wojcik and the Capital Chairman, and you can put your hand through the fender well of the whole backhoe now. It's just, and I've been trying to wait if we get a new garage or somewhere else to put it inside, but it's going to look like it's going to have to go forward, and unfortunately.
How's that looking in terms of a new facility?
They've had discussions on it, but that's all it's been is preliminary at the moment.
I would hope you're next in the queue, though. If there is a facility,
I hope so. You know, they've been talking about it, been a lot of discussion with the select board and the town administrator and everybody, and I think it sounds promising. Again, it's all up to the taxpayers in a vote and everything else, so it comes down to asking, you know, for people to understand our situation and to go forward with it. So I think it sounds like, as of right now, it may go forward in the spring if everything lines up right. You know, it's kind of like a long process to do this, and we've been at it for about 4 years now. So, yeah.
well, hopefully we'll see some forward. I'm sure you'll be happy to see.
Oh, yes, very much so, yes. It'd be nice to have actually a garage you can put stuff inside. Yeah, and work around it, yeah.
And an office.
Yeah, no, I'll take my office is the break room and whatever else for these guys, it's fine.
See everything.
I'm just happy, yeah, exactly.
Any questions for Adam? Questions, comments?
Well, we haven't read this yet, so probably would.
Well, as the superintendent of the highway department, I think we might have something.
And there's a lot of numbers in there through our studies that we've had with Stantec. We've done pavement studies, and every year it goes down. Every year we get worse. We never, you know, the town is generously gives us 360, which only started a few years ago through capital. We used to only get 362 from the state, and that's it. And that doesn't even do, I mean, right now to pave a mile of road is like almost 800,000.
Right.
You know, so you can't get much done. And then for like 4 years we did bridges. We had to fix bridges, so all paving went aside, and now we do it. And something I mentioned to the finance committee, I think, and the board of selectmen, and the more we build in town, the less areas the water used to go off in the sun. Now it's someone's yard, so the water goes off. Now we have to add drainage to just paving. You can't just pave it. You've got to fix the issues that come up. So we're running into that all over town. So we need drainage. It's not just a simple paving project. It's cross drains, permitting, conservation. It just keeps adding up. So there's a lot to it.
So what used to be open space for runoff?
Correct. Was it? Yeah. Now it's being developed, and now we don't have the area anymore. And you know, then we have neighbor disputes back and forth, and nobody wants water. And I understand why they don't. But you know, what used to be an old field that everyone, it didn't matter if the water ran off; it was now a house. So it's getting more challenging, and the more you see the building in town, the worse it's going to get for us.
Are you guys? Do they talk to you before houses go up and what type of impact it'll have?
I only get involved when they have a subdivision. That's, you know, and actually that's thanks to John Charbonneau. I never used to come before the highway department before that. We used to just get told after the fact. We get a set of plans after it was done. John's brought us right in. He's been great with that stuff to bring us in and get an input from us. That's the what's it, site plan review that we do?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we now are involved in all that, which is great, so.
Do you think it'd be better if it was more than just for subdivisions?
I don't think I can say anything with single-family houses except for a driveway permit. I don't think I have.
Yeah, it's basically the roadway, and the roadway and the infrastructure that the town's going to accept. And that's the same thing with the planning board. Technically, in a residential subdivision, the planning board has no say on what happens on the lots. That's private property. It's what's ever going to be accepted by the town. It's drainage, it's sidewalks, it's ADA compliance, it's things of that nature. So snow storage is part of that, obviously, and also, like you said, driveway slope and driveway openings.
And
I just didn't know if, like, because of how like, the drainage, whether or not, because, I mean, I live on one of those roads where the drainage is very much a factor.
There's no drainage where you live. I know exactly where you live. There's no drainage there.
So,
it runs down your neighbor's house, and that's, you know, what happens.
New houses go in, and it affects everybody on the street.
And a lot of times, if I see and I know there's a drainage issue, and I know there's a house going in there, I'll make some notes that the town's not responsible for water runoff, you know, and things like that. But in the end of the day, they're going to berm it up and they're going to keep it on the road, and then it's my problem, you know, and that's what ends up happening.
I have a question.
Sure.
When I was on conservation, they used to have a sign-off sheet for building permits, and I know highway was on there for the driveway.
Correct, that's what I have, yep.
So you still do that?
I still do driveway permits,
So you do still get
and that's when I make my little notes. I try to make notes on different things on the driveway permit and hoping it gets back in the computer. You know, that's basically my only avenue that I have to just make a note of. I can't stop it.
You get to see A&R lot.
Correct, I just get to see one little plan, just not, exactly.
And you know where there's, you know, why would you want to cross the wetland here?
Correct.
do it a
Exactly.
little
And I just say, you know, like
5 feet
they
away.
need a cross drain underneath their
Yeah.
driveway, I make a note of that. They, line of sight leaving their driveway, if there's trees in the way, I'd rather have them take the trees down now on their dime than ours later on. You know, that happens a lot. You know, there's some dead trees that need to come down. Let's have them take it down, you know, instead of town funding it.
Yeah.
So I make some notes on every driveway permit that comes up. Yep.
Thank you.
The driveway permit, you'll curb cut.
Yeah. Yep.
Because this is master plan and we're looking to the future, in your department, do you realize that you probably need more help than what you have? And then the other thing I noticed is, you know, I've been in construction myself, I don't think you're paying enough.
Yeah, it's really tough.
You're not going to want to work for the town, then you go and get money, you know, a lot more money elsewhere. And I think they've got to look into that. They're going to have a highway department, they're going to have a highway department that can do the work and the people who are being paid so they can get quality people that know how to run construction.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I have a lot of young kids, and I mean, they're good workers in that aspect, but they're so green. You know, they don't have a lot of experience in anything. So they're learning a lot on the job, and unfortunately, I lost Ernie. You know, like, I lose John, I lose my father who worked there for many years. All their knowledge is gone with them. You know, I still call John, I still call my father all the time, like, hey, you know, how do we do this? But that's going to end one day. Mike Cahill recently passed, who was a wealth of knowledge for us. And you have a lot of young guys that come in the door. We have 6 employees, I'm 7. That's what we have at the highway. We actually had 8, we had to reduce back down, which that puts us, we were, in 2010 we had 8, then we got cut because of the budget constraints. We went up 1 for 1 year, and now we're kind of back in the budget constraint, and they've asked us not to replace the 1 person already. So now we're back to 6 workers and myself. And going back to Carol's point about paying, I lost a young kid who I really thought should take my job when I retired. I really meant that. I think if he stuck around for the 15 years, he could be the superintendent. He was smart. He was learning. He could do anything. You could send him on his own. He picked it up really quickly. He went to R.H. White for more money. You know, and I can't compete with that. You know, that's not something I can compete with on any aspect. And I've talked to other superintendents around. It's not just Douglas. Don't think it's just that you're isolated to Douglas. Northbridge and I just had this conversation that, you know, they get no applications when they put out jobs now. You know, they're down to their bare minimum of what they have for plow guys. And just like myself, I get in a plow truck, they get in a plow truck now. They have to do it. They have to get out there. So, you know, we're all making do, but eventually it's going to have to increase. It's going to have to get bigger. We're building all over town. We're adding subdivisions. We're adding roadways. I hire subcontractors, but that only fixes the plowing. You know, we still have to salt them. We don't have that, you know, so, yeah, there's a lot to it. And there's a lot, the way Douglas is going, and it seems like we're building every time I turn around. So, yeah, that's where we're at. So it's definitely, like I said, it's definitely hard. You know, we're making do. Well, we always will. You know, and whatever the budget is, you know, I'm not one to sit here and kick and scream and say I'm not going to do it or we're not going to make it. We're still going to make it like we always have, but it definitely would make things a lot better. Things would improve if we had more help, a better building, more money towards roadway paving, you know, things like that. Yeah.
And the population's growing. It's slow, but it's growing.
It is, yeah.
We have how many subdivisions we're working on now, John?
Oh, God, yeah.
It's exactly.
We've got a public hearing for a new one in January.
Yeah. So we're adding these subdivisions, but you're not able to grow your department.
Correct. Not at all. We actually reduced. Yep.
Well, the system is, I've been saying this for years, it's not sustainable. When you have a school department taking up 60, 70, 80% of a municipal budget and 30% for the rest, and that 30% keeps shrinking, but you can bang to the 70, this is what happens.
And what's interesting is enrollment has dropped by 33%.
That's what I don't understand. How do they justify keep going up when
the highway department's getting more roads? So, yeah.
Like I said, our municipal departments have to justify every single line item we spend, and it is analyzed for, you know, okay, we need to justify if our office supplies go up. We need to just, I could be getting, you know, I've been in towns where my office supply budget is $500, and I've had to cut it to $300. So the schools can get more money. I mean, how does that, you're nickel and diming the small departments to feed the the monster that is, you know, and it's just, it gets ridiculous at a certain point where you're going to take $50 away from me.
So how would we address that? How would we actually go
That's
at
a
that?
good question. That's the elephant in the room.
And I'll be honest with you, you can look back in the last couple of years, I've had to come back for more money in the spring every year. There's a breakdown, there's something that cost me $10,000, one truck for $10,000, and that, you know, that ends a lot of a big chunk of my budget, you know, for repairs. And we have the whole year to go. So I've had to come back every year, I think, for more money. And luckily, the Finance Committee's been great, and they understand our concerns and what we need, and they, you know, it goes through, and we never have an issue. But one day, I don't know what the budget looks like in the future. So, yeah, it's really tough. And you're talking back to Bob's economic development and what he's doing to try to get us more, and Matt Wojak and the select board and everybody. It's a huge effort, and it's taken a long time. We are a lot better than where we were. I think people don't realize that. I think that finally getting somewhere, you know, because but the prices of everything have gone up so drastically that you don't see it. You know, you don't see the difference. So, but we are better than where we were. We'd probably be really bad off if we didn't get what Bob brought in and what we've done, and grants and things like that. You know, I'm working on grants all the time trying to see, and I didn't get one recently. I was kind of upset over it, to be honest with you, but it's just what it is. You know, but it's, you know, you try to pry against the state, and you're trying to, I was competing with, you know, bigger cities that you know, for Douglas, and, you know, that's who's going to get it, is Newton or Douglas, you know? That's how it works, so.
Any other questions or comments?
You mentioned 800,000 per mile for paving. Is that reclaim or just?
That's reclaim.
That's reclaim.
That's not
yeah.
full depth.
That's not, no, well, it's reclaim, right? Yeah, reclaim right now is about, it's about it's like 7, my numbers are at the garage. It's what I come up with. And that includes, like, again, engineering, any drainage structures. I have these numbers, like I have them listed out. So when a resident from the town calls, because they famously do once a month, I get a call of, why are you not paving my street? You know, what are you doing with the money? And I go through the whole thing of, this is how much it would cost me to pave in front of your house or near your house or from this area to this area. And they're like, oh, okay, never mind. You know, I mean, if you just take Southeast Main, because I live on it, and I'll just tell you, it's like 5 miles. It's 5.1 million if I want to pave that and do drainage like it's supposed to be. We don't have 5.1 million, you know. I'll have to do 7 or 8 sections, but that's all I'll do. You know, and there's other priorities throughout town. You know, I'm already thinking about next year's projects already, you know, but I don't have the money to really jump into next year's project because I want to start the design and the drainage now, but I can't because the money's held up until I can go forward. I got to finish the 2 projects I'm on, see what my budget is, and then jump into it.
And we've got, what, 88 miles of road?
Yeah, 80, yeah, so whatever it is, 88.2 or 82.8, whatever it is, like, it's, you know, we have a lot of roads, and we're accepting more. Like I said, we took Joseph Road this year. I think William Drive is up next year. You know, so it just keeps getting a little bit harder, but.
How much do, like, the water, like, the break in front of the VFW, how much does that, like, impact, like, the roads and, like, your budget and all of that, when something like that happens?
So the water department's separate from us, so I didn't actually pay for any of that.
Okay,
So
so
that
even the
pavement,
road-
they came and they did it all falls under water. They come back, they reclaimed it, you know, they cold planed it, I mean, and then they put a new surface layer. You know, yeah, it's not great because you still have a bump and it's something else you added driving over. But, yeah, that's all on them. That's the good part. Bob's been great to work with. You know, every time they have a break, I'm right on them, like, let's let it settle and let's go back and cold plane this out and do it right, because it's probably going to be the best part of that road at some point, you know, unfortunately, but, yep.
So you guys don't have to worry about?
No, we just help them, we help repair it, we have our backhoe, we dig for them, my trucks go with them, I have a laborer that goes with them, myself will go, I have water licenses, I used to work for a water department, so I have water licenses and I help fix it if they need it. So we help them in that aspect, and we eat the cost of the fuel and whatever else. Bob eats takes the overtime for my guys and the repair, you know, any repairs, any parts, things like that.
And just for instance, when they had to come back and fix that part of the road, it cost how much?
Yeah, I don't know what Bob ended up paying. I'm going to say it's like 25,000.
Yeah, I think it was
something in that area. I mean, yeah, 30 grand, something in that.
Just that
small section.
Square, not even the size of this room.
Yep. And I mean, that whole thing lifted. We all knew we all drove over it. It was awful. I mean, but you had to let it settle. before you could do it, and then we get another break right in the same area, and then there was a third, so I mean, Bob's got his infrastructure issues too, that the town needs to look at, water main and things like that, and it's not just, I know it's hard because it's just a certain area of town that has water, not everywhere, but, that's a big part. If you are ever going to change the highway garage to a bigger building or run a new water line, that all needs to be upgraded. There's a lot to it. There's not just throw up a new building, there's other things, sewer, because we don't have sewer up that far, so we need a septic system, and where that's going to go.
And again, drainage, if you're in the ground and...
That's what we're doing, big project, it's the infrastructure, like Gilboa, North Main, North Street have already been redone. New 12-inch water lines underneath, all the drainage has been done, gas lines run. That's all been done and paved, so that's all.
Yeah, you're done, exactly, correct.
But when you do the highway department, that line from the highway department to Main Street has already had double-digit breaks in the 12-inch line.
Yep, exactly.
That pipe is that old.
So, and there's a lot to think about. I read through this, like I said earlier today, and I just did it when I was sitting here again just to go through any notes, and there's a lot. Yeah, I mean, your job is not easy. None of you guys to come up with this, it's not easy, because there's a lot in this town that the town needs, and we were a small community, and now we're not, That's just where it comes down to. I grew up here since, my whole life I've been here. I graduated through Douglas, and I saw, when I graduated, it was 53 kids, so it's just what it is.
We all read the surveys where the roads suck.
Oh, yeah. Everyone, they call me, they call me and I tell them the same thing. I would love to pave every road in this town, and I really mean that, because I would love not to have to go out patching 3 or 4 days a week with all my guys, 4 guys, because I need 2 for traffic and 2 to shovel, and I would love not to have to do that. Well, we do it 3 to 4 days a week.
I like my road not being paved. It keeps people going
Yeah,
slow.
and I get that comment too. South Street, we paved that small section, and I had a lady call me up, can you put the potholes back? Because they're going too fast, And I'm like, I can let the police department know, but I'm not putting the potholes back.
I like my road not being paved. They go slow around my corner.
But that's, so, there's a catch-22 to all of it. The same as, Douglas wasn't set up very well through downtown. It's very narrow. You see, everyone drives through downtown. There's a vehicle parked in front of the Chinese place and in front of the goodness store, and then we're all down to one lane trying to squeeze through.
Coming through at noontime today, there was a truck unloading for, I want to say, for Joe in front of the library.
Yep.
So now you got people that are trying to get up Depot Street, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is,
There's a lot to it, like I said, and there's, a lot of these, as stated in here, a lot of the grants are for like bicycle lanes or pedestrian things, and you can't do it. You don't have the room. You don't have it. You're going to actually get someone killed if you actually put a bike lane in there. I'm sorry.
For sure.
And that's not our intent, any of us,
The only thing between you and the cars is a painted line.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, there's no protection. It's a painted line.
I'm not, like I say, I don't know how Upton came up with their little plan. It comes down and then it jets right into the lane.
I know.
And I was coming down one day, I had to go get parts, and I couldn't believe that it jets out in the middle in order to make it work, and that's scary, for someone on a bike, because people don't pay attention. Our guys are out there every day. I try to pick times when I can do projects on the road, like Webster Street or Main Street, because painting crosswalks is horrible, because we screw up everyone's traffic. They all hate us, that's just what it is. But we have to do it, so it takes us 4 or 5 hours, and we gridlock downtown just by us being in the road. So, yeah.
Well, going back to the survey, that was like the #1 complaint that stuck out the most, was the quality of the roads.
Yeah.
And so if we're dealing with education budget that is, maybe it's bloated, maybe it's not, but it should at least be reevaluated, because I think a lot of these other smaller departments need this stuff. Transportation, water, sewer,
All
everything.
the other departments, not just
me, exactly.
Everybody's fighting over the crumbs.
Yep.
Right.
So the 30%, you got police, fire, highway, all the other.
So I don't know who invents the rules of when school enrollment goes down, the budget goes up, and when more roads are getting built, the budget goes down. I don't know who makes these rules, but we should talk about that.
I don't think, don't ask me this, I don't think you can fund the school less than what you were funded the previous year. Am I wrong about that? Was that always something that someone brought up? I don't know the details on that.
Again, I don't know who makes these rules.
Yeah, I don't, the state doesn't, like I said, the school doesn't have to justify a lot of things. They don't line item anything. And that's what the state requires. They don't have to line item where I have to line item, like we said, every penny.
I think the biggest part of their budget, correct me if I'm wrong, Ross, is salary.
Oh.
And they have contractual increases.
Correct, exactly,
it's-
correct.
Insurance and benefits, and that's a huge.
It's on the administrative costs. It's not even going to the kids, for crying out loud, you know?
Yep.
They're just
It's had to
they're
cost
just getting it to get it.
over $1 million this past fall.
The library doesn't even make, we're not even 1.5% of the budget. Not even 1.5% of the
It's-
budget. And the crap we get about how much we spend from some people, it's like, we're not even 2% of the budget. Like, we make nothing.
And it's a catch-22 because, like, if you read the survey, our roads stink, our taxes are too high. Well, where do you, you don't get one without the other, so it's,
The highway department is the only department that every single person uses all the time. I mean, I know that, obviously, police do.
even when you're sleeping.
You know, and it's nice that we've got a good ambulance service now too, but the highway department is, that's why you get complaints, because everybody's using it all the
Exactly.
time.
Oh, yeah.
But they need to know how much it costs, so they stop
Yep.
their complaining.
Right.
I have an email generated, like I said, with all my numbers, and I just fill it in. I do, and it's okay. I like to educate people. That's the
Yeah,
best way to
nothing to
do it. I
hide.
have nothing to
This-
hide.
this
It's
is
not,
it, man.
because I would pave every road in this town when they call me. I would. I'd love it. I think it's great for everybody if it happens, and then I have to make the tough choice, and actually the select board, or actually the road commissioner, is not even myself. I go to them and say, this is what I would like to do, but if you have a different plan, let me know. And 99% of the time, they go with what I want, but just in case they don't want to. But I want to do like the end of Northwest Maine this year. It's horrible going into Sutton. That's one of my things, but I need some swales. I need a couple of cross drains changed. That's my next, but also Southwest Maine from Wallam Lake going out to where we ended before is awful. So it's like, which one do you do? Which one's worse? Then you start going, all right, which one has more traffic? All right, Northwest Maine has Market Basket and Home Depot and everyone going that way, but the other one has Thompson Speedway. And so, that's just kind of weigh your options, and you pick one, and then you just hope to get the other one,
I think you do a lot with what you have.
We try. We definitely do. We appreciate that.
You do a fantastic job.
No, they got cut out many years ago. There's no kids, there's no summer kids. That left in 2010. Yeah, there's none of that. Yeah, we don't have any summer kids. We don't have many part-time people. We have one for snow right now. We have two on the books, but only one that we use for snow and ice if he's available, if we get stuck, if someone, I have a call out or someone's sick, or, we ran through COVID and went through the highway garage, except for myself was the only one who didn't get it, back then. So I had to use some part-time help, and we got through this, what we needed to, so.
What do you think about this Complete Streets program?
So we've gone through it before. The problem I had with Complete Streets was bike lanes. We couldn't comply. We've gone through it. I've taken the class on it. I think John and I both have taken the class on it. And we just never could manage because the bike lanes is a big thing for them.
It's a requirement, right?
Yeah, and I can't find a spot that I could say, how can I do this? Can I put them down the yellow line in the middle of the road? How can I do this and feel good about it? I don't. And I understand people want to bike, and I'm not against one bit of it. I just look at our streets and say they're too narrow, and it's just, and they're not set up the way they should have been. And, in order to make a road that we look at, we're going to change the road and we got to widen it. Now you're taking people's, not property, it's our easement, but now you're backing it up, making it wider. They think you're stealing their property, everything. So in downtown the houses are right up against the edge, right up against the sidewalk.
And some of the best roads, take West Street.
Yeah, correct.
It's a narrow winding road. It's a beautiful country road.
Yep.
It's a narrow winding road. You go around those corners, you're always worried you're going to come up.
Exactly.
Parking.
Yep. Oh.
And on that subject, that's why the planning board, we're trying to come up with the road width, like we are.
Correct.
We're trying to make it wider. There's pushback, but people don't realize you need to have the width in the road.
Yes.
Especially, as you know, you start pushing snow.
Start having snow bankings.
That road that's 24 feet wide is not 24 feet wide in the middle of February. I don't care who you are. It's
Especially
not.
if you get a lot of snow, then it's...
Or whatever, 26.
Yeah,
So
26.
you need to have it wide.
The state's actually pushing to get roads narrower. which surprises me, but their claim to fame is it slows traffic down.
It don't.
And the problem with that is that it doesn't give you a place to put snow. Everyone forgets about the snow because they're not talking about, they're talking about Newton in the summer and not worried about it or whatever they're doing. We're in a country town, and yeah, the last 5 years, have we really had snow bankings? No. But when we do, it's going to happen,
2015, I think pretty much every street was one lane.
Exactly, correct.
The biggest factor with a lot of it is you have people trying to make regulation that have never done the work. They've never sat in a plow for 24 hours. They've never been in a loader pushing back snowbanks.
No clue.
They're oblivious to what the real life is all about, and they're trying to tell everybody else how to do it. And that's the problem.
Probably couldn't fix a leaky faucet.
No. They have no clue. No clue at all.
Well, one of the things is a lot of the old houses were built right on the road.
Correct.
Well, we're an old town.
That's exactly
But
it.
like, my house was built right
on the road, yeah. It was a car path to your front door, that's all it was. I mean, that's how...
And I think that's what it is. A lot of the houses were built right like that, so you don't have that front, like, you take 15 feet, you're on my doorstep.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. I've always been jealous of Oxford Center. I really mean that. It's so wide and everything. The only thing I'm against right now is they put them little curbs in the middle now for the crosswalks, and that's just because of plowing, but they set it up right back in the day, and that's, we didn't, the people didn't. It wasn't us. It was long before any of us were here, but it was a horse and buggy town, and that's what it was.
And that's our problem.
Well, as you can see, we like to bat things around here.
That's all right.
And I think we've come up with some interesting ideas.
Great.
It's like in the previous master plan. If you think there's anything missing or you'd like to add to this,
absolutely,
we're going to be batting this around for about another month or two.
Okay.
So I welcome your input.
Awesome, I appreciate it. I'll definitely let her know.
And just one other thing, so under the current situation here, things are only going to get worse.
Correct.
Long term.
Long term.
There's no way you can even get close to
No. They said 1.5 million would start to make a little progress if we got that every year, and we're not even half of that. Or we're just half, and, we're just getting to that point, never mind. So we're never going to make progress, and then the cost of everything goes up every year. If you're lucky if it stays close to the same, but it never goes down. Asphalt doesn't go down. I haven't seen it in my time. It's always gone up. My patching goes up. I couldn't believe the cost for a winter patch. I mean, we go to Bellingham now because all the asphalt plants are closed. Bellingham's open. It's $124.50 a ton, for me to go get 1 ton of patch, to patch the potholes, where I'm only paying 72 or 74 during a regular year when I go to Bevilacqua or in Uxbridge. So it's just what it is. It's already gone up. So now, but what do? Use coal patch? Because coal patch doesn't stay. I like coal patch as a quick fix, and a bad pothole shows up, we can get it so no one pops a tire. That's what coal patch is for. But it doesn't stay. You got to go back and fix it. So, and that's $1,000 for a pallet load of bags of coal patch. So, yeah, it's a catch-22 on all the way around. But we'll always make it work. But,
And questions or
frustrating.
comments for Adam?
I don't envy you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You do a great job, Adam.
It's been
Thank you.
enlightening, eye-opening.
No, that's what I like about it. This gives me an opportunity. Anytime I can get in front of the select board or anybody, I try to make my statements, and I'm not kicking and screaming, but I just want everyone to know the facts, what we have, what we're dealing with. And as long as everyone knows when it's time to vote for something for roads or everything, they'll understand, that why we're asking. It's not, we're not out spending it frivolously. We have ideas and things we want to do, and I'm hoping a lot of this will come from you guys, Yeah.
And we are making it, working together with the planning board on all the new stuff coming out. It's all with what the highway department's looking for.
Yeah, you made some interesting comments and insight into maintenance.
Right, down the road.
Materials we use, how they're used.
So just so everybody knows, fiscal year, both Chapter 90 and town funds are obviously fiscal year.
Yeah, correct.
Which is July 1st to June 30th. Correct. And the state follows the same.
Correct.
Chapter 90.
Yep. This year, the FY26 is, our fiscal year. We had, and I think it was $700,000 this year from the state. But then again, like I said, then they held it for 6 months on me, so I couldn't even use it. But yeah, it was nice to see that. I don't know if it's going to be permanent. I don't know. I think it might get kicked back down. I never know. But the town's been, for the last, I want to say 4 or 5 years, capital's been kicking in about 360, which we never had. So it's something, and it's,
May meeting, spring meeting.
Yeah.
We approved that.
correct. Yeah, so I mean,
Everybody votes for.
yeah. I mean, that's been great, like I said, and that's thanks to the capital committee, the chairman, the select board. I mean, it's something. We'll take anything we can get to try to get a little more done, and that's what we're looking at. So, thank you all.
Thank you, Adam.
Appreciate it. Sorry, I know you kept looking like you were going to ask me something.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a question, but just a couple of follow-ups on the complete streets. And there was, I think it's this, it's kind of what the next steps for the town would be if they wanted to move forward with it on this packet, which would just be the attending a training. I believe that's what you mentioned. That's
Yeah.
already been done.
Correct.
So
I did the
town-
training. I think, I don't know if John did it or Matt Benoit. It might have been right before you. Matt Benoit and I did it. Maybe it was Matt, not John, but we did the training for that.
And I'll reach out to my colleagues regarding, on the Transportation Department at CMRPC, regarding what the requirements are for, how much bike lanes need to be considered. Because I do think, I know when I worked with Douglas, they did have bike lane they did have some, I think they have some wider roads. They were thinking about bike lanes. They did have a shared use path as well that counted as a bike project, which could be another way to do a bike project and still meet that. I'm not 100% sure that there is a requirement.
Okay.
I guess there is a requirement that the project should make things more safe for bicyclists, but I don't think that necessarily means there needs to be bike lanes. Okay. And the town can also prioritize, more pedestrian projects that won't have to require width. And I know like sidewalks is a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
So if the town wants to get sidewalks funding, I would recommend.
I would love some sidewalk funding. I would take any funding I can get anywhere. I already do that. Sidewalks downtown are, bad. Yeah. They're just, I mean, that's the salt eating away at them over time. It just happens, and they deteriorate. So.
Well, I can comment on the shared bike lanes because North Street, Upper North Street from Gilboa to the Sutton line, 5,500 feet, is already designed by Stantec, the $877,000 design, but that's predicated on a Pine project. So if the Pine project happens, North Street will happen. And that will be about a $14 million project. But it does have a sidewalk on one side, which it does not have a sidewalk at all right now. And it will have a 2-foot, what we call as a sharrow. It's not a bike lane, but it's not a travel lane. It's a 2-foot gutter for bikes. And it will have special arrows on it called sharrows. So that's in the works right now. So there's a way around this bike lanes, but not complete streets.
Yeah, especially with roads that are already narrow, it actually, they want, it's good to make it safer for bicyclists, but there are ways that you can designate on the street that street is going to be shared for bicyclists and cars and other vehicles without having to make a designated bike lane, especially because the traffic's already going, not super duper fast on the narrow roads. That's definitely for rural areas, more rural areas, especially like a lot of town, not all of town. I mean, fairly rural in the downtown even, but not as rural. So I think there are kind of ways that you can include bike infrastructure without it being, widening the roads.
Yeah, when I did the class, I remember, and unfortunately, I will say, when we did the class, Matt Benoit and I both commented that it wasn't addressed towards Douglas. It was more towards a city department, which kind of ruined it because we want to see how would you make this happen in Douglas? How would, what would you find? And they basically talked about, I'm not saying Newton again, but it was a city, I think it was Revere at the time, I think it was, and they brought up an intersection in Revere and how they would do this and that, but it didn't fix Douglas. That's Revere. This isn't, I need to fix Douglas and how I would do it, so it'd be nice to see something like that.
Yeah, I can send you all some resources on specifically like improving pedestrian and bicyclist infrastructure in rural communities and how that might be differences to urban communities, and if you can give it a look. And I'd recommend especially once you get, past the training and into, if you decide to create a policy and create a prioritization plan, we can really tailor it to your rural character. And if you choose CMRPC as a contractor for the prioritization plan, I know some of my colleagues and I was in a supporting role, but some of my colleagues in the transportation department did the plan for Hardwick, which is another town, that, smaller than you all, and kind of had those same concerns.
I think what you were talking about, Adam, at the beginning is a big problem. Pavement and sidewalk conditions.
Oh, yeah.
You can put in the bike lanes all you want, but if you have potholes and you have cracks and it's dangerous, it's not going to be.
We don't conform in many spots in this town on sidewalks for ADA compliance. There's a few that I did with John Fernal, my uncle, back probably 10 or 12 years ago. We got out there and did them ourselves. There's a few that Bob's now got it, done with us with his new projects that he's working on. But there's not a lot. If you really go, and as long as it's existing, it's fine. But when you go to update anything, you have to fix it, and that's, again, it adds to the cost of pavement, sidewalks, and drainage, and all the drainage on Main Street's old, Depot Street's old, and you start getting into some of these things that we're trying to do, as Bob's having his projects, that we're trying to jump on board and help and do things. It shows a lot of drainage, a lot of infrastructure that is failing. Or gonna fail.
Street was upgraded.
Yeah, North Street,
ADA
exactly.
compliant.
Yep.
You will see in the spring, this entire Depot Street
Will be that way.
upgraded to ADA
Yep.
compliant, brand new sidewalk.
Yeah, it's going to be wide. I mean, you see, we have sidewalk right now that, and go up to Pond Street, the way that development was left. Town had no oversight on it. I guess they went bankrupt and the town ended up taking it, because they felt bad for everybody up there. But the sidewalk is, I think, 3 feet wide, and it's all pavement asphalt like this, it's not anything that, that we should even have. But
In my entire career, the perception has been 90% of the resources for transportation go into the metro Boston area, and the rest of the state gets the crumbs.
I've lost many grants to that area, believe me. it is what it is. But we
Plus MassWorks grant.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, it's just how it works.
And yet, these are the areas, and having been in Rentham before, along 495 and now along 146, this is where the growth is happening.
Correct.
And yet, towns like Douglas and Rentham feel like they're left out. And Rentham, when I was there, was looking into leaving MAPC because they felt they didn't get any attention because they couldn't meet the thresholds for complete streets or for get on the tip because they didn't have enough commercial development, they didn't have enough housing density. So how do towns like that get their fair share or something? And basically the executive director of MAPC came to a select board meeting at the time, and he stunned us because I was sitting next to the DPW director, and he basically told Rentham, you will never ever qualify for a TIP project through MAPC. And he was supposed to be trying to smooth things over with us at the time. And he told us, don't even bother. What message is that sending communities like Rentham?
Exactly. And especially, and I will say, we use a lot of resources trying to do this, including my time, which instead of being out where I'm supposed to be, I'm sitting at a desk. John's time, Bob and Eric's time, Bob Sullivan's time to do all these things. It takes away from everything because we're trying to make it work and trying to get a grant in that. And it takes hours and hours and hours of our time to do that stuff instead of doing the work we actually do every day. So, we're a small town. That's what we do. So.
I just wanted to point out a couple things. The pavement management summary, we included that also as an attachment kind of. And under complete streets, I'm pretty sure Hardwick did in their prioritization plan include some, and I don't know if they're fundable under complete streets, but you can at least include them in your prioritization plan you create under complete streets for like repaving certain roadways for justification that it can improve safety, especially if it goes along with removing potholes and also with enforcement. So that's also kind of another part of complete streets I just wanted to point out. And then the third thing is like our transportation staff, if you all are finding yourselves doing a lot of grant work, we have transportation staff who are able to help out with those grants as is needed. And we do have funding from the state to work on grants, although that is going to, we're kind of uncertain about if it's going to go on past mid next year for state grants, but we do have funding for federal grants to help towns with federal grants for I think, through mid-2027. That grant writing support, for state grants through the middle of next year, and for federal grants through mid-2027 is without cost to the town.
And one thing on Stantec's study, if you go through it and you do see it, they give me recommendations sometimes about doing certain streets. And I'll tell you, I feel bad because they're like, oh, now's the time you should overlay this street. And I'm like, I'm going to overlay a street that's probably only 7 or 8 years old before I do a street that's horrible. He says, yeah, because that's a lost cause. And now you go to this. I'm like, I can't do that. You're like, I want to do that. I mean, but I want to be in that position to do it, but that's not what, because normally that's what you do. You just let that one go a little worse and you take care of this one to save it, which financially, I guess, makes sense. But if you tell the taxpayers you overlaid Railroad Ave again instead of doing Northwest Main at the line, I think they're going to kill me. I'm just serious about it. It's hard to get your head around some of the things the right way. Yeah, it probably is the right way. They're probably right on. But when I have so many bad roads, that it's hard to kind of like overlay and do small, reclaim and paving projects instead of doing ones that are real bad, But anyway.
6 inches of water in Martin Road when it rains up there.
Correct. That's it. Exactly. That's how it is. Yeah. So.
I have one last question, Brad.
All right.
When was this picture taken?
Oh, all right.
There's not one moving vehicle.
No, I know. So I will tell you this.
Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Sunday morning.
So back in the day, we used to always plan a lot of our work around 10 o'clock. Because you could actually go downtown and do something at 10 o'clock. You can't anymore, I can tell you that. But at 10 o'clock, you could go downtown before all the stores open and the restaurants and everybody open. You could do a little bit of work between 10 and 12. And then that was your 2-hour window.
This looks like it's a Friday, too, because
Yeah, fish and chips. Yeah, fish and chips, so it's a Friday. So we know it's a Friday, all right. So it's a Friday around 10 o'clock, we've got this now, all right. But
And Sunday mornings, you usually could go through town about that time, and you'd get like the most empty street.
it's all changed, and I think it's going to continue to change, so. But
have we ever thought about oil and stone on some of the back roads?
So they haven't in a long time. A lot of towns went away from it, conservation reasons, things like that. And it's not so a lot of people bicycle, so they've done that, so it's very rough. It's chip seal is what they call it now. So it's very rough for a long time. It does seal off, like you're saying, if I want to do Railroad Ave, I could do that right now. But every pedestrian walking with a stroller and every bicycle is going to hate me, because it's all rough. And it takes years to get it to smooth back out again. It does seal up the road. But again, when I'm at the point of I don't have any money, I just do the one project and that's what I get done.
Right.
But I mean, that's been brought up too, chip seal, and, we crack seal every year, don't get me wrong, we do crack seal. We spend $50,000 a year on crack sealing to try to save what we can, but then, there's other options, like you said, chip seal and different things, mill and overlay and things like that, but we just don't seem to have the money to do it all.
Because they just did the section up near Woody with that procedure.
Correct. Yeah, I went to Sutton and watched them, they did a different one. Now the state's doing this, they heat it up and lay it back down. We did some of that on Webster Street as a trial. It lasted, but the problem is they had a good base on Webster Street when they did it. So if you don't have a good base, you got nothing to do. It's going to come right back. Yep. So they can do something like that. Like right now, we're working with the state. The state has given us, I think it's like, I want to say it's 1.8 million to do South Street over. Just paving. They won't do any drainage. I had to go put a drain in recently because there's a bad spot that I wanted drainage and I wanted to do it, but they're going to do South Street, the rest of South Street. What we didn't do, they're going to do it all to the Rhine line. So from Main Street.
For the part we did though?
But they're not going to, they still took it back. They didn't really, I was hoping they were going to go down to the highway garage, and that was what I was trying to. I actually asked them, can I go into Arch Street some, because that's horrible? Can I go here, and they're like, no, it has to be a numbered street. And then we couldn't do Main Street because, again, if we were going to extend from South Street onto Main Street and down to the highway garage, well, Bob wants to redo his water line. So Bob needs money to do the water line. So I don't want to pave the road and have him rip it all back up. So it kind of defeats the purpose. So we were kind of, it ended up being just they're going to stop right at the end intersection at the moment. But I was trying to pry on the state for drainage, for any upgrades, but they're like, this is just simply a paving thing that the state's willing to do. And I, of course, I'm going to take whatever I can get. Exactly. So, you know, and I put the drain in. I spent a few $1,000s putting a drain in and some pipe, and because I knew there was one area that we always have icing and everything, and we took care of that already. So that way next year, I haven't met with them yet, but it's supposed to be in the spring. We start have meetings to get that road done, and I think it'll be probably, they said they were behind, but I'm going to say either fall or the following spring after that when they start. But they were behind already, so. But
How many miles of road do we have?
what is it? It's on the study, 82 or 86? Yeah, I always lose it. It's like, yeah. It's on the front page of the study, the first page of the study. I know it's in here somewhere. Right here, it should be, yeah, 83.6 public road. So we also have private roads that we have. That's another whole story that we are allowed, we maintain 2 times a year for public safety only. So like I have to patch potholes on Birch Hill Road twice a year. Like, you know, so we go out and patch it, we pay for that, but we do that, part of the town's bylaw. Or if it gets really bad, I approach the selectmen and say, the road's almost impassable at this point, I need to do something with it to make the ambulance not bottom out, a police cruiser not crash, things like that, then I'm allowed to go and do more. But yeah, we still have to maintain even private roads up to an extent. So that 82, it's probably another 14 of private, 14 miles of private, so. Yep. The only road I don't touch in this town is Manchog Road, because the state owns it. So,
Yeah, that's only a little strip.
the only strip they own left, it's and I got a complaint from the state. McKenna's office called me the other day because a resident complained to them why the town won't do something about Manchog Road. And I said, because it's a state road, it's not mine. And she's like, oh, it is? I'm like, yep. She's like, well, when did that happen? I said, it's been that way my whole life, and I don't know how long. I think it's been forever, because it's never been a town road.
The M route or something?
Yeah, the M route. It goes through Sutton and the Millbury, and, you know, they've always maintained it. They do everything on it, so, yeah. But that's the only road, and like Ridge Trail is actually technically a state road. They consider it a trail. They won't touch it to grade it, so we end up grading it, but that's a little controversial up there too. But again, summer cabins now turn into full-time residences, and that happens on Laurel Glades and all these other roads, so, yeah.
How about your capital budget for your replacement?
We've been very fortunate in the last couple of years. The capital chairman's been great to us. The capital committee's been great to us, trying to replace a lot of this old stuff. And I'm going to say this is old, but it's not 2001 trucks, because I know I was like, it was new when I got there. I was, it's fine, but it's not. At this point, if you can make a large truck last 20 years, that's where it should max out. And they rot, the bodies rot, the frames all rot. We have some that we do some stuff that I shouldn't even say out loud. They're welding the bodies down to make sure they can last, to put a sander in it so we can work, because it can't dump anymore because they're rotted. We do things like that just to make it by. But the newer trucks, again, are bigger, are different. The sanders are different, so everything comes in, and now we have to figure out where to put it. So, it's just what it is. Sorry to keep rambling on. I know we keep going on.
No, it's all good. Anything else?
Able to pressure wash that stuff?
Yep, we have a pressure washer. We do it every storm, we pressure wash. Hot water pressure washer. I make sure we try to make it last as long as possible. Yep.
If we were gonna I know, Adam, you were taking questions.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we want to, I just wanted to, ask, do we want to go through the different parts of this, or do you just want to, I just want to know, is there any parts of this chapter that you all want to be edited, anything to clarify, anything to change? I did have one question that I had on just an informational question, but just I wanted to kind of open it up to any comments on the chapter about things you'd like to change, or is this, as it is right now, good to kind of go? That's kind of, besides things that we already talked about.
So we took Adam early, so we could get you in. I don't know if you want to sit through this, it's up to you.
No, I can leave. That's fine. I'm good. I can go have dinner. It's fine. 6:30. I appreciate that. But if anyone ever wants a tour of the highway garage or has any questions, you can email me directly. I'll gladly answer anything. Anyone has.
Recommend the tour.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much.
All right. Hey, have a good work,
guys.
Yeah, have a good Christmas.
You too.
That includes your office, too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. One bathroom we all share.
I don't know whether it's
Will, the floor is yours.
Yes,
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, thanks.
I mean, we kind of went through the first few key findings.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
especially,
Is there anything we didn't touch on?
yeah, I think especially the key finding number 1, we definitely
Yeah.
kind of covered. There were a couple changes I wanted to make that I just wanted to highlight. And then I had one question. But before I go through those, I just wanted to ask, does anyone have anything they want to point out about any of the different strategies? Pretty much, especially like anything that they want changed or anything that's misrepresented or not something that should be in the final plan.
I think you should change our motto to "We make do."
Doing our best.
The only comment I have too, though, sometimes it's hard to read these maps. I don't know if you could maybe rotate it, make them a little larger or whatever, because is this the size you're going to...
Yeah, no,
What we
I
got?
did rotate it. I don't know why you're saying that.
This is my mistake.
I printed this off from my phone.
Do you want this copy?
So that's a user error.
We're also having, I mean, there's going to be graphic design at the end of the
Sorry,
project. The layout of the final plan is not going to look like this. It'll be completely different. And you'll have a chance to review that.
Yeah, I feel like for maps too, we could have like the fold out, like kind of how we had in the survey where they were like 11 by 17, so we folded them out. Have that as like part of the appendix.
And especially with like the keys,
Yeah.
that's too small.
Yeah.
It's a blur, pretty much.
Each
Almost
plan comes with a
unreadable. So if you could, I mean, and especially when we're not even using this space, because that's Webster, you could make it almost the full length of the map, you know, expand it, or put it a little lower.
Yeah, use that lower left-hand corner to widen that box.
Yep. Anything
Put the
to make it
dates
bigger.
somewhere else.
Yeah. See how much we can edit those through PDFs we got from.
Oh, yeah.
So those aren't maps that we made.
Yeah, although
I'm not sure how.
Adam may have them. He may have them. If he doesn't, it's going to be hard to get them, but if he has them, it probably would be. Yeah. I mean, we do have, I think Stantec is working on some project at CMRPC, so we maybe have a contact there, but we could ask Adam about,
But
something like
one
this-
on the back of this is really clear. And I think it's the same exact map.
Now, is this map actually going to be in the master plan book?
Am I wrong?
I think so.
that's the kind of the idea.
okay.
A little different.
All the graphics are
That was
still
like
are
Adam's,
kind of the ones we're planning on. They'll just be
Adam's.
arranged in a different way.
But base rehabilitation, structural. Almost the
Yeah, this one, that one.
Or even
More
this
on
map
that
on the
one.
pavement
Yeah.
survey.
Oh.
I don't know if it's
Wait a minute.
possible to separate it into 2 different parts so you can zoom in, instead of having the whole town on one page.
We're looking at different maps.
Are we?
Yeah, you're looking at that one.
Okay.
Anything else on the chapter? Or I did have 3 things I wanted to say.
Well, on the recommendations here, as far as increasing capacity and budgets, I mean, I think we should seriously look at the other budgets of the other departments in town, especially the school. Because if people are complaining about the roads, like everybody, and really nobody's complaining about the schools, because the school's nice, I think that should be one of the recommendations.
It just seems like the budgets aren't proportional to what's happening in those departments. To Carol's point, the school enrollment has gone down for various reasons, yet their budget keeps going up.
Right.
Our
you said,
roads
by
keep getting worse, need more
30%.
maintenance, yet the budget keeps going down. I mean,
Yeah.
What you need is a
No,
citizen.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we could possibly reference that in the transportation chapter. However, the recommendation would probably be in the town services and committees chapter. Which
is the next meeting, so.
The town,
There we go.
There you go.
We'll talk about it then, not today.
town services, facilities, that's the word.
See, Dan's ahead.
That's right.
He's always thinking.
Should have called out.
But yeah, I think a lot of, the whole highway department capacity conversation really touches on that chapter as well. So I think, I'll coordinate, because you're writing that chapter, right, Emily? So the two of us will just coordinate between
And
that.
it's just, to your point about making do, in my department, Jen Kuchar, the secretary, she staffs the planning board, the ZBA, the Concom. She does this open space committee. She does the BFCC. She helps out with the master plan. We have people who are multitasking to death.
I just feel like every time you talk to somebody, we're like, yep, we make do with what we got.
Based on the whole,
Yeah.
Every time you talk to somebody, it's like, yep, we make do with what we got. This is what we got.
We keep taking on additional things, and to Adam's point, eventually you can't make do anymore. You reach your critical mass of you can't do anymore. There's only so much time.
Right. And people
We
will
don't
quit.
want
Good people will
people
quit.
leaving.
Right.
Exactly.
that have this knowledge.
That's right.
There's another problem too with budgets, is state. What state?
It is. That's the thing. The problem with the school is it's above the towns.
It's what the state's mandated.
But the other issue is, and I know Douglas isn't part of this, but Rutland was, when you're part of a regional school system, like Rentham was part of King Philip with Norfolk and Plainville. Problem is, Rentham could say no to the budget, but if the other two towns say yes, Rentham has no choice.
But I mean, we'll still get that with BVT and with
Exactly.
the other one that I can never remember. That one. Thank you.
Yep.
yeah, those two, we have no say in it.
We have no say.
And
We're what?
Rutland has talked about leaving the Wachusett school system, but they need a vote of the other towns to do it. Why?
Yeah.
No, you can't secede on their own.
You can't leave without approval of the other towns. How does that make any sense?
You've been captured.
Yeah, it's a trap.
So we're beholden to 3 different schools.
Only the moment the Norfolk Ed, we just do tuition to them. We're not part of their school system like we are with BVT.
There are some changes coming up with BVT.
Yeah. Yeah. Norfolk.
We do transportation.
Right. But-
And transportation we're locked in on.
But we're not, BVT, we are in a contract and everything else.
Yeah, roof repairs, everything.
Yeah, everything, we're part of their.
When I was in Stoughton, the finance committee debated for 45 minutes over my budget because my work-related cell phone plan cost $300. And they thought that was too much for 45 minutes. Really?
So, one thing I wanted to point out is it's on page, page 7. I did note the historical character of Mechanic Street Bridge, and that prioritizing safety and accessibility as well as preserving the bridge's value for history. So I know that was something we discussed at the last meeting. That's been added to the chapter, as well as, I think it's maybe added in a different section, but under the goals for, this is the goal.
So the bridge at Gilboa North Street does that not qualify as a TIP project? Or does it not receive enough traffic, not connect to enough economic development? Because usually bridge projects are TIP projects.
So which street?
Bridge, Gilboa North Street Bridge.
Gilboa North Street Bridge.
Why doesn't that qualify as a TIP project?
I will ask, I'm not sure if it does or not. I will ask my colleagues.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I mean, looking ahead to the next meeting, is it possible to get next meeting's printout, like, ahead of time, so we can maybe even look at it ahead of time, instead of having all this stuff kind of...
Well, Emily, you sent this out.
This was emailed.
Oh, you did?
Get it?
Are you done? I sent it to the general.
Oh, okay. I thought they were last meeting's notes and stuff, so it's next meetings to prepare. Got it.
If it comes from Emily, it's not the meeting minutes or the agenda.
Got it.
It's the chapter from the next.
Got it, okay. I'll pay attention. I'll pay more attention.
I just wanted to
I
note
like it. Come on with notes next time.
on page, I believe,
I don't know whether good point or not a good point. On any of the bridges in town, if there's any improvement work done to them, the bridges should be made to carry the loads of trucks of today. We already have bridges in town that have weight restrictions on them. So if there's a problem with another bridge or there's an issue, trucks won't be able to cross the river because the bridges are being maintained with low weight distribution. So any improvements or anything done to any bridge that crosses should always be taken into consideration the weight that it can carry of today's trucks.
Be upgraded to the new standards.
Right, because today's trucks aren't trucks of the 1800s or the early 1900s, you know what I mean?
That was the new bridge going to the Cubes.
Yeah.
That is standard
Are these
upgrade.
federal standard plow?
Yeah, so I mean, that's not mentioned anywhere in here about weight limits, and it should be, on anything done.
Yeah, I'll definitely add that. That's an important point. I just wanted to point out that we had discussed the possibility of, at the Mechanic Street Bridge, replacing it, but maintaining the historic structure in some way. So that's also an action item 1.2 on page 20. That has some language on that.
Now, Rebecca, that's the only one that's
That is the only one left in town.
The Gilboa is not.
Gilboa is still a stone arch bridge.
Right, but it's not designated as a historical landmark.
Mechanic Street isn't either.
Technically not.
No, it's just, it's a nice bridge.
But it's the last of what's left.
But
That's right.
in Macris, under the building book, it is listed as a historical bridge, even though it's not designated, where I don't think the Gilboa North is.
But it was built the same time by the same people.
The old Cook Street Bridge was, but that got refurbished and is gone. So really the north, the Mechanic.
It's a steel bridge now.
Yeah, the Mechanic's really the only really good example not touched.
And it's a weight limit of 12 ton right now.
And it's a one-laner.
Yeah.
It's only
Yeah.
one way.
Had a person the other night that didn't want to follow that.
Karen, I gave you the drawing,
Zigged when they should have zagged.
1947.
Yeah.
Did you see how that bridge, the easement is straight
That's
across?
the world,
Bridge is.
you know?
Yeah,
Nobody, one, like I said, literally,
Shortest
8
distance
seconds.
across the river. Perpendicular to the.
It does not put two way
But our easement goes is a lot wider.
So how is the Mechanic Street Bridge any different than the Wallam Road Bridge? Are they structurally the same type of structure? The one that crosses?
Yeah, stone arch.
Smith?
Yeah.
The Wallam Road was built by the railroad.
But it's the same type of a structure. When it
Yeah, it's
goes-
stone arch bridge.
Pull Wallam.
Correct.
Yeah.
Is there a need to replace the Wallam Road Bridge? Because
That went down in flames a long time ago. I'm talking like town meeting or discussion, people, because the bridge was falling apart. All of the stone,
Not literally.
all of the stones, like the Mechanic Street Bridge, right? That it's got these huge
sides,
stones
yeah.
along the sides. They were falling off into the old railroad bed. Because kids were tossing them, and they were loose. So the idea was to just get rid of it, because the railroad was gone. Oh, boy.
Yeah, no, that's a beautiful,
I remember that. It's not well taken. That might have been discussed at the old Masters. I mean,
I think it would be the same as the Mechanic Bridge. I don't think that would be very well taken.
and nobody can see the Gilboa North Street Bridge because it's got that pavement, funny-looking railings, and nobody
Yeah,
can
it got
appreciate it.
kind of widened.
But you know,
Yeah,
on the North Street Bridge too.
a lot.
I think that really needs to be able to carry the weight.
Yeah, that's between the highway and downtown.
What's that?
That's between the town center and 146.
Yeah.
I think it could be reconstructed with the same character, the same look to it, but
Like, just put another structure over it, because if we ever do a Riverwalk,
well, you could even straighten the corner. We own that property. That's, well, in there, and I can foresee straightening the corner so you don't have that and widen it. And like you say, you could literally
Honestly,
go
what I'd
over it.
love more there more than anything would be a sidewalk, because more times than not, I've had people walking on that with kids.
Yeah.
And
Let's discuss that one.
If we've got the land now,
We're going to have 3 good streets coming to an intersection.
If you go to Slatersville, where I grew up, over the Blackstone River, down in the town center near the old mill.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Yeah.
They replaced that old bridge, and they have a separated sidewalk going across. They have the stone for the bridge, and on the other side of the stone is they have separated walkways that protects the pedestrians from traffic.
Is this Gilboa and North Street?
The Bow and North Street Bridge near the water sewer treatment
if you
plant.
have a lot of land there, why not, if we have to do a bridge, do another bridge, not where that one is. Leave that one as a pedestrian bridge.
That's the language that I kind of have in the plan
Yeah.
currently, is pretty much that is a
Is there enough
possibility.
room to add a bridge there and keep the Gilboa and North Street Bridge as is?
Yeah,
Or
you
would you
you
narrow
might
the Gilboa and North
encroach
Street?
property on the opposite side, on the Gilboa Street side. But if, I don't know, I'd have to see
On
what
the
property.
Hayward Landing side, there's room, but
Yes.
on the intersection side.
There isn't, right, right.
Because it goes to a wedge.
Right.
The other problem with that bridge is the DEP might look at the archway is the cross-section is not sufficient for flood. You look at the cross-section underneath the CFG bridge,
Yeah.
it's a big square. The square area is large compared to that bridge. If you ever have a good flood, the water will not go underneath the bridge, it'll go over it.
Yep.
Is the same issue with the Mechanic Street Bridge? do you think?
The
That's the
Mechanic Street
same.
Bridge is higher.
Oh,
Yep.
I think that also the difference with Mechanic Street is it goes all the way up, like the stone goes all the way up.
Yeah, like you said, the bridge is actually higher, it's
Yeah.
taller.
It's
Like-
a cross-sectional area.
But like the North Street, the bridge stops at the street, and then you've just got the steel railings.
That was
Right.
That you
the
can do.
dam, wasn't it? At the bridge, the dam was at the bridge.
there was a pond there on North Street.
Well, but there was a dam there that,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's why maybe he was set up that way.
Somebody talked
It was
about
dam.
28, that's the double dam, the flood 28,
Yeah.
that dam out.
We're going back to bridges. Any bridge made, though, should also be made wide enough.
Right.
So that if, as we all travel around the country, you see bridge work, you don't want a one-lane bridge coming into town at any one point. So you need to have it at least 3 lanes wide to allow for repair work while the other lanes stay open on any new bridge construction. If you're going to do it the smart way, that would be the way to do it. Because all bridges, I don't care what it is, will need to repair at some point.
I think if you make North Street 2 12-foot lanes, a shallow lane and a crosswalk, a sidewalk, I should say, 5-foot sidewalk, that would be plenty.
As long as you have enough, yeah.
As far as maintenance, that bridge should last 30 years.
Oh, yeah.
Begin with before you start.
Right. But here we are talking about 20 years down the road here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
How many bridges were made years ago, and you go, why didn't they make it 15 feet wider? You're already there. You know, you're talking pennies and dimes on the dollar compared to, 20 years later. But just considerations.
I also want to point out, and I think it, for some reason, wasn't included in the chapter. I did find some resources from FHWA and the EPA regarding specifically emergency vehicles and pedestrian kind of safety, because sometimes, emergency vehicle access is viewed as kind of being the opposite of what the pedestrian safety measures, so just kind of best practices for kind of aligning those goals. So I think it may have been Emily.
It's gonna go in the appendix.
Oh, okay, you moved
I
some
just
stuff to
took
the,
them out, yeah.
you moved some stuff to the appendices? Okay, so that'll be in the appendices. But, so once you have the full plan, you'll be able to review that. Okay, cool. those were the bridges and the fire emergency response, language were the main things that I had for updates. The question, well, actually I had one other update, but I'll go to questions first. And that is the new warehouse development in Douglas. I mention it when I'm talking about the truck traffic, and I just want to know, I believe, so this is key finding number 6. I mention, I think, it may have been, as truck traffic is anticipated to increase in Douglas, this is page 15. Once a warehouse along Route 146 opens, could you give me a little bit more detail about that so it's not just a warehouse?
Right now, it's called the Cubes at Gilboa, but there are 3 tenants actively pursuing it, so it'll have a different name once a tenant goes in.
Is there like a address for it or even?
123 Gilboa.
Okay. I'll just say the warehouse development at 123 Gilboa. That'll
With the new bridge. Everybody will know what it is.
So there's a new bridge there?
Yes.
Okay, I will add that. What's the square feet of that plan?
1.1 million.
What about the other project? Because that's definitely be coming online too.
Well, that's, yeah, they're
Well,
going
the
to
planning
go
board
for
in
that one.
December, here it is December, so it's been 3 years in the making.
So that one's just potential at this point.
Yeah, that's,
It'll happen. The question is when.
it's the one that just got their variance from the ZBA.
Yeah,
What's
high
it called?
variance. It's 1.7.
So I'll just say potential future
There you go.
warehouse or something.
Proposed.
Or I can say proposed, that's good.
Proposed future warehouse.
I haven't seen much increased traffic with McKesson.
They're not open yet.
Oh, that might be why. I figured they had their sign, they must be in business.
Well, the Amazon opened in Uxbridge.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of Amazon trucks
Yeah.
coming through Center Douglas, and none of these trucks are for Douglas.
Yeah.
What is McKesson?
McKesson is the 3-town, it's a multi-town warehouse on the northeast side of 146.
Yeah, we're only, 8% of it?
Yeah, we have a whopping 8%.
I thought it was open.
That was a project led by you guys, CMRPC.
Yeah.
Clearly not.
You guys were in charge, because it was a tri-town, and CMRPC had the lead.
Yeah. Oh,
And they would zoom in with all 3 towns at once,
They were the
every meeting.
Douglas, Uxbridge, and
Sutton.
Sutton.
Yeah.
I also just wanted to let you know about, this is also key finding number 6, so I have to go back to page 14. Unfortunately, my colleague let me know that, let's see. Truck exclusions are currently prohibited on Massachusetts numbered state routes such as Route 16, and that we knew, but the last part of the sentence is what I recently learned, that even along parts of these routes which are owned locally, such as the stretch of Route 10 in downtown East Douglas. So truck exclusions are probably not going to be feasible.
So you could simplify that, say truck exclusions are currently prohibited on public ways.
Truck explosions? Explosions?
I thought he said, yeah. We don't want any truck
like to share,
explosions. We don't want any truck explosions anywhere, any road.
It's not only Massachusetts numbered
No truck explosions in our town.
way.
Yep.
You can exclude them on a private way.
Yeah.
Now, we could get them
Can we
on
limit
Main
them?
Street if somebody buys 100 feet of Main Street and calls it a private way.
I don't think you can, because it's a route. It's a Route 16. So it's a state federal road. It's a numbered road.
All right, so you buy North Street. Now they can't get from the way.
You might be able to do that, but I don't think you could do it on 16.
We'll make
Because
it
that's
private.
That's a bad road.
It'll be
The only
private.
way you can manage truck traffic is with weight limitation.
I just had
And
one.
noise.
Or height.
And a noise ordinance.
We are planning on trying to head out. And so I had one more thing just to note. Action item 3.2, page 22. I think I talked to Sam about this, and I think we're fine with keeping this as long as the committee keeps this. But just with that new information, is there any ways that this should be altered? We still want to include this because it's definitely a concern in town. But there doesn't seem like there's much that can be done. I mean, maybe some sort of study could be done, but that may be something to discuss in the follow-up to the meeting.
Apparently Bob wants to blow trucks up.
The tunnel.
I'm telling you, tunnel, the tunnel's gonna make it happen. Might as
A
well-
toll tunnel.
Toll road.
Right?
Where would we do an alternate route though?
Bring in a TBM.
Where would we do an alternate parallel route for truck traffic only?
You really?
Going from where to where?
Basically Webster to 146.
Webster to 146.
Well, they talked about the old
The SNET.
Snap.
Back in the day, yeah.
back in the day.
But that's state-owned now.
Yeah.
That's state-owned, so cross that off the list.
Well,
All roads are, any existing roads are windy and residential
And narrow.
and narrow.
but you know, when you say it's state-owned, when the state takes something by eminent domain and builds a road on it, then it's state-owned.
It's DCR.
Yeah. So if it's state-owned, if we can't prohibit trucks on 16 because it's state-owned, then that means they have to allow them on the railroad because it's state-owned.
There you go.
They can't prohibit it on the railroad
Let's make it
because
an
it's
alternate
state-owned.
route, the
Well,
way
16
it sits, right?
Route 16, believe it or not, is not state-owned.
It's not.
No, but it's
It's
not.
Well,
town-owned.
but we can't prohibit it.
Correct.
So they can't prohibit it either, right?
Yeah, it's town.
So we will,
Pave it and ask for forgiveness later.
we can follow
Make do with
up
what we got.
on the specific language for that section 3.2 because I don't know, it might be a discussion for a future meeting just to discuss, if we should have that still. I think the key finding can go in regardless, but if that action's going to be feasible or maybe a way to some way for the town to move forward to express this concern within the current environment. Perhaps maybe recommending a change at the state level. I don't know if that's within the scope of the master plan, but we can have those continued discussions. I wanted to,
And again, that wording has the same wording that's back in the key findings. You put in public way, trucks cannot be excluded on public ways.
yep. I'll definitely make that change. That's a good idea to make it more simple.
So as road commissioner, Ross,
So what about
what do we?
road width,
selling?
limitations by road width? We can make some really nice wide sidewalks.
Can't.
Horse and buggy sidewalks.
The planning
What if
board-
you tried to attract the Amish community? Then you could
Right.
have horses and buggies.
Right. Which is kind of what we had.
Counted a lot of that. in the end.
We just paved over them,
Yeah, buggy lanes.
right?
They actually have those like reflective triangles on the back of their.
Slow moving.
And if we have buggy lanes, then we can't afford to have tractor trailers because they would interrupt the buggies.
Right.
And spook the horses.
Exactly, so there we go.
Just remember, all these trucks bring everything that we use every day. So guess what? You make everything
We're
work for the
SOL.
trucks.
Be hungry if you don't.
You want to go hungry and everything else, you go ahead, shut the trucks down.
Telling you. Tunnel.
Something, Emily?
Tunnel is the only way.
Put off from the last meeting. I know.
Boy,
Always a butt
can't open worms everywhere.
No trucks, no Amazon.
Like I had mentioned before,
That's not a bad thing, I spent too much.
to help
It's
our-
too easy.
Yeah, to help with our economic development chapter, and with like another project in the town center that we're working on.
There's one more.
We wanted to source some input from local businesses, and we figured instead of, calling every business and interviewing them and everything, it'd be easier just to condense our questions into a survey. Shouldn't take them hopefully more than like 5 minutes to do this survey. So I just wanted you to get a chance to look it over before we send it out.
Okay.
Is this the same one as last
That
meeting?
that we didn't
Oh,
get a
okay.
chance to review, and now we you.
Got 30 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
My only comment is on this business survey.
Yeah.
Is, I know when I do these little surveys, these boxes, they're never big enough.
Well, the number one, the name
Oh,
of
for
the
the
business,
comments?
that should be a
Oh, yeah.
longer-
Don't worry about that. I'll make them have lots of space.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry about that.
Other than that, I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, GPS, you can fit it right in there.
Yeah, so
You
we're
don't
looking at,
have, but
But
you,
yeah, spell it out, right?
how would you describe the current trajectory of your business? Are they rapidly growing? Are they kind of declining? What are the market challenges? So are there any kind of like issues with labor shortages, access to financing, things like that?
Quick question, by 8, number 8, what do you mean by?
well, we're doing 7. Wait,
Sorry.
7,
we
yeah.
just finished 6.
Okay, so how would you characterize the overall business environment in Douglas? We're not just talking, East Douglas, we're talking overall the whole town.
East Douglas.
And then number 8, how would you describe your experience interacting with Douglas town staff and boards and committees when opening your business?
So you mean like the municipal side? Okay.
Yep.
When opening or...
Permitting.
Inspections.
Okay.
Opening or operating?
Inspection.
You want to limit it to opening your business?
Oh, yeah, we could add
Opening / operating.
operating, yes. Gosh.
Opening, yeah.
I could also put like IE permitting inspections, like for the departments.
Because there are annual inspections.
Yep.
There's annual, I think you guys just did permits last night on some businesses. Licenses.
Yeah, we're doing license renewals before the end of the year. So we're just doing some of those. So there's inspections, fire inspections, and annuals.
Do you think that Douglas's permitting processes are business friendly? Do you think that's a clear question? Or
That's
feels kind of vague.
That's vague, and
I feel like that is open to
and
I'm not going to get
whining.
I think I've commented here. Bob and I have talked about this. That's a little. Having worked in many towns, I've found that even when I give guidance to applicants in terms of how to proceed and they don't listen and it ends up costing them more time, a lot of times these private sector developers come in and they don't respect the public process enough. And so that's a tough question for me, because I've heard private sector whine and complain for years. Oh, the big bad town is holding me up. Oh, the planning board held me up. And I can tell you from my experience, 9 out of 10 times, it's the applicant that holds themselves up because they're not responsive to our comments, and they just want to do what they want to do, and they don't listen to guidance. So I have mixed feelings about that type of question.
Okay, I'll see if
Just look at the comments that were made at the town meeting during that agricultural session. We're the good old boys. That need to be broken up.
What about if instead of business friendly, efficient?
For what number again?
Nah.
I just remember I got sworn in for here this time last year, and I sat in because I was waiting to get in, and it was, this business has not come to take care of their licensing. This one, we have walked them step by step by
Yes.
step, and they still haven't done it. Like, I remember just sitting here waiting to meet with the select, and
Anyone who knows the Rentham outlets, that plaza across the street with the lights that's still on operational, the town of Rentham bent over backwards to change the zoning to allow that outdoor plaza across. And meanwhile, the business owner's been sitting on it with an astronomically unreasonably priced rent per square footage. So the town bent over backwards to change the zoning to allow that to go in, and it's been sitting there vacant for about 15 years now. So that happens quite a bit, where towns are held hostage by private sector because, we want more money, we want this, we want that, and yet the town bent over backwards to accommodate them.
Maybe I could make that just more of an open-ended, what is your experience like?
Yeah, I was thinking,
Make some comments.
what has been your experience regarding the permitting process?
Yes, yeah, perfect.
I mean, some towns aren't even online yet for permitting applications, building, electrical, mechanical, stuff like that. So I think Douglas is online though.
Yes.
Yep, it's fully online.
Yeah.
And the tough part about that is some people think because it's online and they submit something on a Sunday, they're going to get solution by Monday. Be cautious about that. What's that?
I think it would still be good.
Exactly.
I think it still would be good to take the temperature out there.
Oh, yeah, no, that is...
There may be ways we can improve.
Yeah.
Just an FYI, the town's website is getting a revamp.
Yes.
Because of the ADA?
No, just to make it more streamlined.
Yeah.
and make it
More user-friendly.
But I also know ADA compliance, municipalities have to be ADA compliant by April 2026.
I'm sure it's part of it,
Yeah.
but it's just to make it nicer and easier and...
Good, because that's always been my number one.
All right. Any regulations pose an obstacle to your business operation?
We're always going to have negative comments.
But it's good to know what those are.
Yeah, it's like which regulations pose obstacles.
Yeah, exactly. So, do what you will with those comments. Would your business benefit from additional market style events? I know Joe had spoke with the coordinator of the Winter Stroll, got a lot of information about kind of how that is coordinated and just business environment in town. Does your business participate in a chamber of commerce or other business organization? That one will be really good for.
The only chamber of commerce we have here is the Blackstone Valley Chamber of Commerce. We don't have a local chamber of commerce.
Yeah.
Actually, I spoke with Joe last Friday also about our 250th and our hopefully Memorial Day parades and stuff like that, and he kind of had questions about that. What would help? What avenues would help? What resources would help bring that about too? So he was doing some checking on that, which is kind of cool. Community involvement.
Joe who?
Through CMRPC. I forget his last name.
I had presented his chapter because he was away, but so he hasn't met you all yet.
Yeah.
But he's watched the videos.
Yeah.
Do we want to mention Blackstone Valley Chamber of Commerce?
Yeah, we could have an example.
Actually, what I was getting at is he was asking in the town too, like a small business administration almost throughout the town, like an
SBA, a small business.
Right, but right.
Association.
Or maybe even just a couple of small towns that would just similar to the Blackstone, Chamber of Commerce.
The Chamber of Commerce is from Millbury to Blackstone.
Right.
Yeah, then the next question asks, if a local business organization was formed to support small businesses, would you be interested in joining?
Yeah, that's kind of what he was
Get
asking.
that moving. And then we just asked if they have any additional comments, or if they'd be willing to just have a follow-up conversation.
Well, on number 10 here, sorry, last thing. So, do any regulations pose an obstacle? So, I mean, part of my everyday life is dealing with regulations and regulators when it comes from town to town, especially on like the building and electrical side. Sometimes it's not the regulation itself, but the regulator. And because of certain inspectors in certain towns, we don't do business in certain towns because of a very specific individual in town. Not because they have hard rules or anything like that, but they're just like out in the field. They'll create regulations that are nonsensical. They don't follow the state regulation, and they're just out in that field. I mean, I asked for, hey, what are the rules? Give them to me in writing, and I'll follow them to a T. And then they change them midstream. And they'll do it every time. Then you do it again, and they'll change it in a different way. Well, they'll reinterpret their own rules in a different way. So, so it would say something if we have anyone like that in Douglas that is like treating businesses like that, because that would not be okay. Because we've had to raise these individuals to the town selectmen and the mayor or whoever and be like, hey, you got this guy over here, and it's not okay. He's driving business out of town. So, is it wrong to ask if we have someone like that in our ranks,
Right.
I don't think so. If I was a mayor, I'd want to know about it.
Personally.
How are the businesses getting this?
I think we're going to mail them out, but I think we're going to use funds from the other grant that we got for the Village Center study. Because this is really going to help with the Village Center study. So we'll just get the list of addresses from the town clerk.
Is that the one Kerry's working on right now?
Yeah.
Because I have a phone call with Kerry tomorrow on that.
Oh, hold me to that phone call. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm hopefully going to help her out with that, just to kind of fill her in with where this process has been and make sure we're all on the same
we've already
page.
had a team, you were there, John, right?
What's that?
With Kerry?
Yeah.
That first meeting, we had a team meeting.
Nice. Yeah, it's a study with multiple towns, but Douglas is like the first town that we're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah,
So,
and it's
yeah,
just Main
ready to roll.
Street, just Main Street.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else? As always, please, if you're reviewing the chapters that I've sent out that we've reviewed today or in the past, you can email me with any comments, questions, edits. I really would appreciate it.
Cool.
Yeah. And next time we're talking town services and facilities.
You were on that first team meeting. Kerry?
I think you were.
I was on the one with the other
EcoGen, electrical and solar and stuff like that in Layton.
BSC.
Oh, yeah, the BSC.
Yeah, I was on that one.
Whatever, it's like, oof,
That's right.
this is tough.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Cambridge is a nightmare.
He worked with PSC.
Yep. Right above us.
I mean,
Yeah,
our
I'm supposed to get
building
it.
inspector is, he's firm, but he's fair too. Doesn't,
Committee, do we have any other business before I lose you?
you can always call him and have a conversation.
second it.
He's responsive.
Two thirds on the table by Carol, seconded by Rebecca. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed?
Merry Christmas, everybody.